Welcome. Today is not about doing more, it is about holding less. Most of us are not tired because life is heavy. We are tired because we are carrying things that were never ours. Today is not about fixing anything, just like our every pause circle session. It's just about making space for yourself in your mind, in your heart, in your life, in your thoughts. And today, I welcome you to take a pause and think about things that you might want to just put down. Last time, we spoke about control. Today, we're going to speak about release. Control is tightening the grip, letting go or release is softening the hand. Think about this. If you keep your fist closed long enough, even air begins to feel heavy. So, as we start the journey, I want you to take a pause and please remember that you can pause the video on the YouTube and take how much of a time you want to take that pause and think about this question as we begin the journey. What am I still holding unnecessarily? We move from understanding control to actually releasing what we hold. It's like we just don't carry responsibilities, we carry this invisible weight, unsaid expectations, unspoken guilt, other people's emotions, imagined futures which we are not even sure. Surprisingly, the heaviest things we carry cannot be seen. It's like carrying a backpack you've worn so long that you even forget it is there behind you. These are some of the backpacks and things in your backpack. You might again take a pause here and think about what more are in your own backpack. And each of our backpack is different. These are just few examples that I put, which came out in my conversations with many in the last few years. Why is letting go so hard? We don't hold on because things are heavy. We actually hold on to them because they are very familiar, right? Now, look at the things like it feels like losing control. It creates uncertainty. It challenges identity. It requires trust. And honestly, in my own experience, letting go feels uncomfortable, not because it is wrong, because it is very familiar. And this is a backpack that I was talking about. Holding a heavy bag for a long time, and at some time it doesn't feel heavy anymore. But that doesn't mean it isn't. So let's do a little grounding exercise. Firstly, sit comfortable, either on the ground or on the chair. Feel your feet on the floor if you're sitting on a chair, and soften your shoulders. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, or focus at a point and you can keep your eyes open. Now, slowly notice your breath. Just observe. No need to change the pattern of your breath. I just want you to notice how are you breathing. Continue to notice, observe, and just witness the way you breathe. Now bring your attention to your life. Not how it should be, but how it actually is now. And ask this deep question: where do I feel the weight that has no place in my hands? Where do I feel the weight that has no place in my hands? And gently ask yourself, what are you holding that is quietly holding you back? Remember to pause the video and take the time until you're comfortable. Come back to your senses. Focus on your breath and gently open your eyes. Now that you know what are you holding, which is not needed now, let's learn how to let that go. And remember that letting go is not a dramatic act. It is actually a quiet awareness. And one of the framework that I use to let go is something called notice, name, and release. Before you release, you must see clearly. And that's exactly what we did in the grounding exercise. Ask gently, is this truly mine? Is this really mine or someone else's? And then gently release, like loosening your grip on something too delicate. And letting go begins with noticing, right? Because we, even in our life, we don't drop things in life, right? We slowly stop holding them, letting go. If you remember, if you have a child and you're a parent, you know that moment you let go your child to be independent. And that happens slowly, not abruptly. Now, when you are taken time to notice, name, and you want to release, now I'm going to teach you how to release. And that's something what we call as the weight you carry exercise. Now, for this, I want you to raise your hands slightly as if holding something. You can raise it up like in the picture. Now, imagine everything you've been carrying. It could be responsibilities, expectations, pressure, expectations that were never spoken, responsibilities that were never yours, even though you've been guilt tripped into it. And most important, outcomes you cannot control. Put all of them in those raised hands. Now notice how your hands feel. Notice your arms. Is it hurting you? Because even imagination creates weight. Now slowly put it down. Loosen your hands and put both your hands down. Remember, relief is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just that quiet stillness and lightness you feel when you release those thoughts. Now, like this is the first activity that you can try in terms of noticing, naming, and releasing. You can also do a simple methodology of open hand practice. For this, firstly, you need to clench your fist. Feel the tension, the grip, the holding, like tightly. Okay, this is how control feels. Try harder, like press it, really clench your thumb. And this is exactly how control feels. You realize how uncomfortable you feel. Now, slowly open your palm. Allow your fingers to open. Notice the release. And remember that letting go is not losing what matters, it is releasing or loosening what burdens us. It's like opening a window. You don't create fresh air, you allow it. And hence, opening your hands, your palms, allows that freedom of air to rush between your fingers. And as you have now physically moved out of your letting go, you can also try the emotional release. So, this is the third way of doing. So, I've now helped you with two, and this is the third. Bringing one situation to mind, anything that you're thinking of currently, something that you have been holding too tightly. And say to yourself in your mind as many times as you want. Again, you can pause it, pause the video right here, and keep talking about what you want to say in terms of this is not mine to carry. Think of a situation, think of something that you're holding too tightly, and start telling to yourself, this is not mine to carry. You can also say, I can care without carrying. And please pause again, and you can say this n number of times. Again, you don't have to say both. If you want, you can say both. It's a choice. Just see what works for you. And ask yourself, even after these three practices, if you still feel you're holding to something too tight, what am I afraid will happen if I let this go? What is going to happen if you let this go? Letting go does not mean you stop caring, it means you stop controlling. And just focus on what you are responsible for. Breathe in, breathe out, and do this exercise as many times, but I highly recommend you do it 3 times, at least minimum. You can take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine placing something down and keep repeating this as many times. The breath in our body, it's a way of letting go over and over again. So bring a thought to your mind, the one that you want to let go, you want to place it down, and start your breath in and release it as long as possible to let it go. And once you have done calmly, do a checkout for yourself. You can either write it down or you can talk it loud. What am I ready to release? And remember that letting go is not a one time act, it is a continuous process of loving self and letting yourself continuously know that you care, and care does not mean control. You can care without carrying unnecessary things. Thank you for joining us this April. We look forward to seeing you next month. Till then, take care of yourself.